Hello, everybody. So I'm going to be calculating the difference between the hazard pay and what you'd make off hazard pay if they were to implement the $10,000 and it caps at $10,000. And I'm also going to do the calculation for unemployment benefits and like what would you make. And I'm going to use my paycheck as a reference and my pay rate as reference because I think it's the easiest way. I might not use mine depending because I am freestyling this video because I haven't planned everything out, but I'm just gonna do it real quick just to give you guys an idea of why the hazard pay isn't enough and why it needs to increase. So let's do it. All right, guys. Let's see what we have here. So let's see. What's the equation? What's the equation? Okay, so if you work 40 hours a week full time on average, but let's be honest, a lot of essential employees have been working longer hours than ever, harder than ever for the same pay, or they've either cut it. So, let's see. So if you've been working since the beginning of COVID-19, and they're going to retroactively pay you since January 27th, let's not consider January as a month because that's the end of January, so it's February, right? So it's August, okay? So February, March, April, May, June, July, August, okay? But I guess I won't count August because it's only August 1st today. So that's 6 months, okay? So if you're working 40 hours a week times 4, that's 160 hours on average per week. And then if you times that by 6, right? Because you've worked 6 months, that's not right. What did I do wrong? Oops. Wait, no, that's right. So that's 960 hours, I believe, in the past 6 months. Okay, there we go. I should have wrote this down, but sorry, it's been a long day. So 960 times 13. So that's already $12,480. Okay. So if they were to pay you $13 retroactively since January, and you've worked, January 27th, and today's August 1st. Okay. They would be paying you $12,480 in a lump sum. The problem is that they cap you at $10,000. Remember, with the hazard pay proposal, they cap you at $10,000. This means that $2,480 that you deserve as an essential employee working during these hazardous conditions that have yet to subside. You're not receiving that hazard pay. So as I've said before, if they're going to retroactively pay you $13 an hour, which caps at $10,000, since January 27th of 2020, it's already capped out in late May or early June. And for those of you who have been working more hours than ever with pay cuts or the same pay, well, it's probably capped even earlier than that, because if you're like me and you've been working like 60, 70 hours a week sometimes during this C virus, it probably the 960 hours here you've probably achieved that 960 hour threshold much earlier than that. So that means all this other time after the 960 hours, you've been working without hazard pay. Okay? Oh wait, that's not the right math, not 960, but yeah, you know what I mean though. Like, you're still making whatever the hours is, you're already making it. But what is that? Like, let's see. So 10,000 divided by what? 13? 770 hours. So 770 times 13. Okay, so after you work 770 hours, the hazard pay stops. And you've probably already worked 770 hours around late May, early June. So let's do some more math, okay? Look, I'm not going to use my pay rate just because my pay rate's a little confusing. It's a confusing number. It's $17.66. That is a confusing number. Let's use $10 because a grocery clerk makes around $10 on average, which is not a living wage. So, if you've worked full time and no, we can't use that because, let's see, what would be the right equation for this? Okay, so if you worked since now and August, since January 27th till August. Okay, so let's see, 10 times 770. Okay, so between the time that you've made the unemployment money. I mean, not unemployment. If you made $10 an hour as a grocery clerk, this is before taxes. You've made $7,700. Late May, early June, because that's around 770 hours. Okay. You know what? I'm not going to use this as a reference because this is just too confused. Let's just use this, okay? If you work 960 hours, because that's 40 hours a week since January 27th all the way till August 1st, okay? If you work 960 hours, even though we're not going to consider the hazard pay caps at $10,000, and you make $10 as a freaking grocery clerk, right? You made $9,600 between then and now, okay? So if you make $10 an hour as a grocery clerk, or any majority of frontline workers, essential employees, and you work 40 hours a week, and you make $10 an hour, that's $400, okay? So you've made around $9,600 since January 27th till August 1st. You've made $9,600, okay? But if you were on unemployment and you're making $10 an hour, like, let's just say some of your coworkers file for unemployment because they're like, oh yeah, I don't like working. My friends have been collecting unemployment. Like, let's just say, like, some retailers closed. I don't know, dude. There's a lot of people who should have been working who are exploiting it, but it doesn't matter. Let's just use your wage, what you would have made on unemployment instead, okay? Because let's be honest, nobody wants to work during this global pandemic. Okay, so let's just say that the CARES Act is $600 a week, okay? Because it is, and you're making like 50% of your weekly wages as the additional from unemployment. So you're making like $800 a week. So what? That's 800 times 4. That's 3,200 a week. I mean, that's 3,200 a month before taxes. And what you would have made as an essential employee without hazard pay is times 4 is 1,600. So if you're on the CARES Act, you'd be making like triple the money by being on unemployment. And I know a lot of you essential employees know people who make around the same amount as you, if not more, who are on unemployment and now making more than you. And I know a lot of essential employees who know people who make less, who now make more than you, triple times more than you. So I'm sorry, this is a very disorganized video. I'm just doing it off the top of my head. So let's see. Let's see, what's another equation we could think about? 40 times 10. Okay, let's do the math. How do we calculate how much you would have made instead on the CARES Act? Because we know you make $9,600 on unemployment. I mean, as an essential employee making $10 an hour as a grocery clerk, and you're working 960 hours a week. So there are let's just say February 1st till August 1st, you've worked 6 months. Let's just say you work like around 6 months, okay? So there are 4 weeks per month times, so that's 24 weeks. 24 weeks of work, okay? So that's 800 times 24. Okay, so if you're making $600 from the CARES Act and $200 from 50% of your $10 an hour employee wage, that's $800 times the 24 weeks, which is 6 months. Because from February to August 1st, you would have made $19,200. Do you see the difference? Like, you've basically made a little bit more than double your money by being on unemployment with the CARES Act. So, do you see how ridiculous this is? It's so ridiculous, because if you're on unemployment, you make more money, you have more leisure time to fix your skills, boost your skills up for better jobs, spend time for kids, focus on your mental health, work on your side business, money launder like tons of people are doing, work under the table for cash, do whatever you want to do, go on vacation, travel. Because no one's following the quarantine rules. In my state, no one's following the quarantine rules anyway. People are traveling from out of state and they're not even following the quarantine rules. There's not enough people to govern everybody. So if you were an essential employee without the hazard pay, you would have made $9,600 working full-time as an essential employee. If you were on unemployment, you would be making $19,200. That is ridiculous. And even if you were to get the hazard pay lump sum, that's $10,000 plus $9,600. So that's $19,600. So you'd be making $400 more. Well, congratulations. You've made $400 more for being an essential employee. Congratulations. But you know what? While you slaved away, working more hours than ever, under hazardous conditions, more stressful than ever, maybe you got a pay cut. Your next door neighbor, he's been making more money than you, or the same, while he's having the time of his life. So let's just pretend that your name's Roberto. If you're Roberto the store clerk, and you're Roberto the guy on unemployment, and you guys make the same wage, well, Roberto the guy who's been working harder than ever as an essential employee is stressed out, losing hair because he's been working harder than ever. Maybe he's been finding ways to cope with his problems. He's bringing home the COVID-19 to his family. He's stressed out mentally. He's depleted mentally. He's done. He's working harder than ever. Maybe he's contracted the virus and he doesn't know, and he brought it home to his family. Or he could be his neighbor, making more money than ever, going to school, going on vacation, focusing on his mental health, growing his garden, playing video games, working under the table for cash and collecting unemployment like millions of people are doing, traveling around the states, going to Hawaii and not following the 14-day quarantine rule, because a lot of people are doing that and they're breaking the rules, partying at the beach, barbecuing, having a pool party, going on Tinder, doing whatever you want to do, which one would you be? I don't know. So there you go. There's the math. And you know what? Listen, I know this math wasn't, this was a low quality video. I know that. But I just want to give you guys a general idea of what you're looking at and like how BS it is. One day on my day off, when I finally get one of those things, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do a high quality video. I'm going to do the breakdown. I'm going to do a thorough breakdown showing the differences. And I'm going to go over the mental problems that essential employees are facing. I'll go through the whole many aspects of essential employees versus those on unemployment. And, this isn't to spite those who are on unemployment. Like, good for you, more power to you. Use this time wisely because, everyone deserves a break. But, essential employees need to essential employees need to start understanding that, this hazard pay isn't enough. So, eventually I will make a higher quality video and I'll do a better breakdown and I'll put more effort into it. But yeah, do the math yourself. I know that some of the numbers here are wrong, but this is just a general idea of what you're looking at and how messed up it is. But I hope you all have a good day.